fight from training that I was, I had to take a big gap off, and then you've got to start the training camp again from scratch. And I don't want to have to do that anymore. I want to fight regular and try and get as many fights in close succession as possible.
How many fights do you think it will take before a title fight?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, I don't know. It depends. It depends if there's some guys out there that are interested. We can talk.
See what goes on tonight.
Pardon?
See what goes
Yeah,
on tonight.
the heavyweight division. You've got Deontay Wilder fighting the WBC title. You've got tonight defending it against Spitka, and you've got Charles Martin, a big southpaw, fighting Glasgow. So you've got the IBF title there that was taken off Tyson Fury, and you've got the WBC title. I haven't seen much of I know Deontay Wilder. He's a former sparring partner of mine. Very good fighter, very big puncher. But the division's kind of wide open. You've got Tyson Fury going back to Germany. That'd be interesting to see how that fight pans out, the rematch. So those titles are kind of tied up for at least 6 months, maybe a little longer. You've got Lucas Brown's challenging Ruslan Shagayev for the regular WBA title in a couple of months. So there's lots of different options out there. It's an interest. There's not one dominant heavyweight right now who has all the belts. Unfortunately, Tyson Fury said even if I worked my way up the rankings, he wouldn't fight me, which is his right to do that. But money talks at the end of the day.
Gareth, I'll come back to you. Hang on one second, just down here.
Okay, congratulations, David. It's Samara from 8 Count News. In your opinion, after you sized Mark up, when did you think you'd select the ultimate finish?
After he threw one jab, and I read the timing of that jab. I left my head out there for him to do the same thing again. And the moment he threw it, I loaded my right hand, and I knew it was going to hit him on the button. And when it did, I knew the fight was over because he was out on his feet. And when someone's out on their feet and their head's there, puts his hands up, I can then let 2 or 3 punches go very, very fast. And that's what knocks people out, is the bam, 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 very fast succession that people find very hard to get back on their feet from.
Yes, Gareth, hang on, sorry.
Gareth. How you doing, Gareth? You're trying to get a question in there for laugh.
Well, no, I just filed actually. So. God. Can I just go back to the reception? Because clearly, the minute you walked out there, I don't know if you were. I want to register is how surprised and what it means to you and what it fills you with to go on when you see that kind of and feel that kind of reception from the public, because it was astounding, wasn't it?
I genuinely wasn't expecting that. Genuinely wasn't expecting the response I got. It was so positive.
Does it carry you though?
It does.
Do you think I want this belt? I want to be there.
It makes you want to just keep giving them same nights. All those people, even though it was a 1-round knockout, they were there. They were part of it, and they felt like they were on a nice journey. And it was a good crowd. I looked around, and everybody was buzzing. Kids, women. It wasn't your typical boxing crowd. It was
better than you imagined.
It was way better than I was imagining. When we went for the January 16th, apparently that was the worst possible date we could have had a boxing match on. This is what everyone said. Don't do that. Leave it a couple of months. I said, well, I need to get in the ring as soon as possible, even if it's half empty. I don't care. I just want to get out and fight and let my fighter do the talking. And I went out there. I was like, whoa, okay, this is amazing. It was absolutely fantastic, and people were singing "Ain't No Stopping Us Now," and it felt like the old days. It was really something else, and I want to give them some more of those nights. And hopefully the guy can stand up a bit longer.
Yeah, but does it stimulate you? Will it stimulate you when you go back and analyse that now, when you watch it back? Will it stimulate you as much as you want the desire in yourself to be a public figure, to be a person who's loved by the public? How much does that mean to you now?
As you get older, I'm 35 years old now. I never anticipated boxing at the age of 35. I always said I'd retire when I was 30. I was adamant about that. Even before, I purposely had the Vladimir Klitschko fight before I was 30. Before I was 31, I thought, this is it. This is just the journey that I said from when I was 10 years old. I'm going to complete it, be unified heavyweight champion of the world, and then be unified heavyweight champion and retire before 30. I lost that fight in points, unfortunately. I just fell short on that one. And I couldn't live with myself because I definitely felt I underperformed, let people down, and I want another run at it, and another run, a healthy run at it. And I think it was a good start today.
Final one, out of 100%, where are you?
Now, 70%. So, I remember I've just started working. We changed the first camp. We're just still trying to find our way. Even we've had to change a lot of the stuff as we're going along. We realise, okay, that doesn't work for me. Let's just try and do things this way. We've adapted training as we've gone, but we've managed to get to a point where I'm here, fit, fast, healthy, no injuries, and can perform. And that was always the plan. You know, we're not focused on getting Deontay Wilder and sparring and getting all these crazy, you know, these monsters over sparring. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to save the hard fights for the ring, for the fight, you know, opposed to using that up in training camp.
Thank you.
Declan, then James.
You mentioned your speed earlier, but by your standards, you actually look slower. Is that something you're going to have to accept through being older now, or do you think that's going to come back?
I didn't feel slow at all. I didn't feel there was any shot I wanted to land that I couldn't land.
The more he was fighting at a slow pace, so he sort of brought himself down to it. If you look at his hand speed, he was punching very, very fast.
Oh, you're talking about the rhythm of the fight, the slowness of the rhythm?
No, just your speed in general.
My speed doesn't feel any slower at all. Feels
heavy-handed, so
yeah.
with that.
There was no shots I think I missed one right hand. I loaded up with one right hand, and I know why I missed that because I shouldn't have thrown a right hand from the position I was in. But maybe that was my bit of ring rust there, so I'll take that.
Were you nervous before the fight at all?
So I look nervous.
No, but you could have been hiding it.
It's weird. I was hoping that I would get nervous because it's been so long that I've been in the ring. I was hoping I'd get like butterflies and get the adrenaline I got when I was younger. But I had zero. It was really strange. But I still felt ready. I was in the ring. I felt ready, but it was just I was just absorbing the nice atmosphere from all my amazing fans, and I think a lot of people can use up much needed energy with your emotions, energy you need for the fight. It's a tough place to be if you go into those later rounds, and I'm definitely not using that with nervous energy, that's for sure. I feel so cool and calm and relaxed, and that's why I wish the fight went longer. I really do, because there's so many things we've been working on that I didn't even get into a position to do. You know, I was anticipating him really putting the pressure on me. In my mind, leading up to this, I wasn't expecting him at all. He backed off. I was like, okay, this is not what I mentally worked myself up for him to just come across the ring. It's kind of like a Chisora would or John Ruiz and just put it on me. But I think the reality of the situation is it's easy to say that, but when you've got a opponent who punches as hard as I do, you're going to put your face in range to get inside, to land shots. He's going to have to be in that danger zone. And I think, you know, the amount of knockouts I've had in my career, so 25 knockouts now, yeah. 25 knockouts, heavyweights would be, think twice before they just run into range with the sort of kamikaze tactics.
James.
Congratulations, David.
Thanks a lot, James.
The way you took out Mark Donnelly was very reminiscent of the way you took out Enzo Maccarinelli.
Yeah.
How sort of pleasing is it for you that you're still doing things on instinct and that sort of killer instinct still there, even with a 3.5 year extra from the day?
It's very nice. Very nice. It's very satisfying because as much as I believed I could do it, I didn't know. I've never spent 3.5 years out of the ring. It's been a lot. I had training camps, but I didn't get in the ring and fight. So people kept saying ring rusty. Is your shoulder going to fall out of socket? Is, you know, this, that, the other. Although I believed that I knew what was going to happen, what happened, I was expecting to be a tough fight and expecting maybe, you know, to be missing punches from time to time or getting clipped with shots. So I'm mentally prepared to have a hard fight, a hard, tough fight, because this guy's been fighting regular. And but it's nice to. I didn't feel any slower than I did against Enzo Maccarinelli. You know, the time and the slip right hand felt sharp and hard. I'm just like a bigger version, bigger, stronger version now. You know, with more experience. I'm not rushing my punches now. I'm waiting for I can be patient. I'm not worried what's coming at me because we've worked on the techniques I've got. If he threw one big right hook, just a simple little block, and I'm still in range, cool and calm. I felt really comfortable in there.
You seem a bit more bulked up. Is that sort of deliberate? Is that sort
Yes,
of the injury?
yeah, definitely. I've made sure that in years gone by, I've dieted down to around 15 stone. The general consensus in previous training camps was the lighter I am, the more effective I am, because I'm lighter and I can move around and I'm faster. That may be the case, but whilst boiling my body down and getting down to the weight, I was picking up too many injuries. You know, I didn't have enough body fat, and I definitely feel that by just consuming a lot more calories, it's given me the extra bit of weight. I'm not, normally I'd kind of cut my carbs out close to the fight. That's why I used to look so shredded, but now I'm focusing more on performance than aesthetics. Maybe I was a little bit too vain back then. I wanted to look a bit too ripped. But now I'm just, as long as I'm punching hard, as long as I'm healthy, as long as I can do the rounds, that's what I'm focused on. You know, some of the greatest heavyweights, or my favourite heavyweights, you know, Lennox Lewis and Muhammad Ali, for me, they're the two, you know, greatest. Even George Foreman, you know, none of those guys looked like they were dieting down to get to a weight. They just came in what they naturally came in at. And that's, as I've got older, I've definitely thickened up a bit, and it's definitely works for me.
Member of the Demori fan club.
David, you look fantastic. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Listen, I just want to talk about the ring walk. The ring walk, I noticed that, you know, you talk about energy and everything.
Yeah.
Was that a deliberate move to come out with a black and white flag? Yes, it read Haye on it, but was that a deliberate move to invoke fear into Mark Demori in these times? In these times, what a black and white flag means?
No, I had no actually acknowledgement. I didn't even know there was a black and white flag. I thought it was a Union Jack flag, wasn't there?
I mean, it was pretty scary. That's all. I mean, you know,
Okay.
and
Maybe that's what
the
Yeah. What is he talking about? Well, yeah, I generally got no clue about this. I'm lost. Well, this is something.
Next question. How does it feel tonight? How does it feel afterwards?
It feels as great as it always has done. You know, I saw the shot, I landed it. I could have thrown 1,000 of those same shots tonight, and it's rock solid. And if there's any heavyweights out there that were thinking about, you know, me not being the force I once was, I'm actually a more dangerous force now. I truly believe that. And you know, whatever success I had in the past, expect that times two.
If you don't get someone like Joshua, I think Tarver's number 9 in the WBA, isn't he? Is he someone that you may have to tread water?
He's just been bound for drugs.
Has he? Because they don't want to put you in, Joshua in with you.
Yeah, we're going to look at, you know, we want fun fights for the fans. There's plenty of guys out there. So we'll look for the rankings. Obviously changes from time to time, and particularly after tonight, it'll be very interesting to see where the heavyweight landscape lands. And but I'm just happy to be back partner. I've been sitting on the outside looking in for so long now, and it's a really lovely feeling to be back and, you know, giving the fans what they want. I felt let them down so many times. I felt, you know, terrible, you know, when I was getting injured. It was a really bad time in my life, and everything seems to have turned around now, and I just look onwards and upwards. You know, hopefully this will be a small footnote. 3.5 years and years to come, will be a small little footnote. Okay, he was injured 3.5 years, but he came back and did this, and then won the heavyweight title. So all that stuff's a thing in the past, and you know, I'm looking forward to fighting here again as well. The O2 Arena, what an amazing venue. The best sport and entertainment venue on the planet, and can't wait to come back. Here.
Can I get a question to the trainer, if you don't mind? With regards to your plans for David post-fight, is it rest, relaxation, choosing a new opponent? What's the timescale for your sort of next objective?
2 or 3 weeks out. I think we were in camp for 4.5 months, so a lot of hard wear and tear on the body. So he'll have 2 or 3 weeks out. But you know, the problem is before he was getting too out of shape and then coming in with 8 to 10 weeks and crashing the body. So he's just going to go down into light training now. So the plan is to keep active and stay busy. So we'll keep the ball rolling.
Okay, thank you.
David, if you can't get a top 10 ranked opponent for your next fight, is there any chance you would give a British guy a shot? Given your payday, I mean, there's nothing more than we like seeing 2 British heavyweights. So,
Everything's open. Everything's open for open for negotiations and